The camera picked it up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, bro.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, fuck, I got clipped.
There is nothing like a full Sunday where you're just a lazy bum on your couch while your diet consists of chips, chicken wings, pizza, and soda for a whole about 16 hours or so. That, my friends, is the NFL season. From watching your team slip you into an unlimited season-long depression over and over because they can't get the ball past the line of scrimmage, all the way up until your boy, whose team won the Super Bowl last year, has to call you numerous times over and over to remind you how much your team sucks because it's the only way he can compensate for his lack of masculinity. Or even the fantasy season where you decided to draft Kyle Pitts in round 5 because you still believe that there is hope. The 3-page long injury reports of yet another Tua Tagovailoa concussion, to watching our favorite comedy show called The Dallas Cowboys while Jerry Jones casually burns his entire franchise to the ground. Instances of just being a Bears fan and having to hear it casually over and over that this is their year. Spoiler, it isn't. We cover it all, ladies and gentlemen. This is Pick 6. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pick 6 podcast presented by Street Logic Sports. We are back in business. My apologies for missing last week and just missing time in general. We're back. I'm joined by Isaiah Brune, Magicity. Boys, how y'all doing?
Doing great.
Great, fantastic. I don't know where
How are you? I heard your washer blew up.
Oh yeah, my dishwasher is fixed now, so we're good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck that shit. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, back to order. NFL closing out the year. We're approaching the end of what has been quite a weird season. The Rams look to be front runners for a Super Bowl run in the NFC, as do the Eagles, who are continuing to thrive through the terrorism of offensive coordinator Patullo. And the AFC continues to be a complete clusterfuck of what the fuck is that. The AFC East, no one knows what's going on. The AFC West, no one still knows what's going on. The Chiefs suck. The Broncos look okay, I guess. The Chargers can't stay healthy, and then the Raiders are the Raiders. And then the AFC North, our favorite division, continues to show us why. I'm going to bite my tongue on that. Anyway, so fantasy update, boys. Need a little bit of an update. Isaiah, you want to start us off in regards to how your team is looking?
Yeah, team's not looking too hot. I just lost by like 80 points to the best team in the league. That's all I'm gonna say. Very depressing right now. Rainy day.
Yeah, I lost back-to-back games, and I am facing that team that just beat Isaiah by 80. So, yeah, great time to be alive.
I'm not going to speak on mine. Y'all saw my frustration. I lost by 0.08 points.
Well, would you look at that? We're all in the dumps.
Yeah, it's cooked, bro.
Yep.
Fantasy's
It's
been
all
rough.
right. Fantasy
I'm not
has
gonna lie
been
to you.
rough. It really has been rough. But I think 4 more games left in the regular season
Uh,
for
4 or 5
fantasy.
For fantasy,
For
it's
fantasy?
week 14, right? It's the last
regular season.
yeah.
Yeah, and then playoffs.
Yeah, and
All
then I think it's 3 games in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So week
Mhm.
17. Yeah, so
Yeah.
about 5 more weeks.
Got it. Cool.
As
On
Naoki
this
would say, we're entering the home stretch.
entering the home stretch, I've been trying so hard to avoid that terminology. But anyway, I missed so much time. Speaking of Naoki,
Naoki's here.
hey,
What's up,
Came
back
everybody?
with buzzed head, bro.
Yep.
Show us the cut, man. Let me see. That shit
Oh,
clean.
tide
Oh,
is high. The tide is high.
shit. Hey, we missed so much time that my beard started growing back, and Isaiah's fucking hair, not Isaiah's hair, Naoki's hair blew off. My bad,
Yep.
Isaiah.
Just like your washing machine.
Fuck you.
Shit. We got Amber Rose in the chat. I'm talking about Naoki.
I'll make it clap right now.
That's okay.
Let's get
move
into
on to
Boomer Bust,
fun.
guys, please. So Boomer Bust for week 12. We've got our players. Zay, if you want to kick us off, this is an interesting one, but it's not a surprising one.
Yeah, I'm kicking us off hot with the Moon Man, Darnell Mooney. Um, he's got a Week 12 matchup against the New Orleans Saints. Week 12 PPR projection of 11.2, and my boom PPR projection is 16.7. I think everyone knows about the announcement of Michael Penix Jr. being placed on IR, pretty much ending his season. I think it's bad for just about everyone on the Falcons except Darnell Mooney. So I want you guys to listen to this. With Cousins back at the helm, Mooney averages 6.82 targets per game over a 17 game sample size, and that's almost four more targets per game than he averages with Michael Penix. On top of this, we have Drake London, as he was announced that he is week to week now. I think he should be on the IR. I don't think the Falcons have anything else to play for at the moment. And it's sounding like he's been fighting through that injury. I don't know if you guys saw what Raheem Morris said. You know, it's hard to hold Drake London back from Drake London. So that would lead me to assume that he's been playing with an injury probably the last 3 or 4 weeks. Nonetheless, no Drake London. Kirk Cousins back at QB. I know all the cards point in Darnell Mooney's favor, and I know that doesn't work out pretty much 99% of the time when it comes to fantasy, but I just don't think that the Falcons have anything else to prove. So I think we're going to see like an improvised offense out on the field, especially against the New Orleans Saints team. So I think at the very least you have to start him. It's too interesting not to. You know what I mean? And I'm sure a lot of you who have picked him up off of waivers, Yusuf, for example, you guys will be starting him this week, and I think you should be confident doing so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was an opportunity for me. I was surprised that no one else went for him, really. But
Which is
um,
hilarious because you traded him.
yeah, for Jonathan Taylor, and I got him back. Fucking Luke. Who's
Hilarious.
that actually?
Yeah, who is that?
Yeah. By the way, let's put him on blast here for a moment. Luke went MIA in our
For
chat.
what?
We still don't know what happened.
For
He left
what? For why?
left yeah, left the chat, dropped Darnell Mooney, which was part of our trade where I gave him Jefferson for Jonathan Taylor. Um, we haven't heard a word from him in over a week now, and he has a winning record in our league.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know what's going on. So
Weirdo shit.
yeah, it's funny as fuck. Anyway, imagine.
Imagine kick us off with your, oh my God.
Okay, listen. My boom player for this week is Devontae Smith from the Philadelphia Eagles. Listen, hey, let me tell you guys what. All right. So obviously his week 12 matchup is against the Cowboys this week. His week 12 PPR projection is 14.7 points. I have his boom PPR projection at 20.5. So obviously Devontae Smith is a stud. There's no need to say anything about that. We are wearing the Kelly Green jerseys this week. Every time we wear the Kelly Green jerseys, Devontae Smith goes stupid. 100 plus yards, at least gets a tutty. He always goes stupid. Obviously, the first week that we did play the Cowboys opening night, I know both teams are a lot different than they were opening night. He did have a good game. Devontae Smith obviously had one catch for 5 yards on 5 targets last week against a really good Detroit defense. I don't see that happening this week again, back to back. I expect obviously a really good game against the Cowgirls secondary that's atrocious. I know they got that D line fixed up a bit, obviously trading for Quinn Williams. They got obviously Logan Wilson in that midfield, but their corners are still shit, And I think you could tell last week it was more about the storylines forcing the ball to AJ, which was annoying because we lost many possessions just trying to force it to AJ, even though he was getting clamped up. So I think to see Devontae
Well,
get
the
more
weather was
touches this
also
week.
horrible too,
The,
so
yeah,
that
the
pretty
win,
much
the
took
win,
out the deep ball.
exactly. So yeah, there's no deep balls, and that's really what Philly rely on from Devontae Smith a lot of the time. So I just expect a good game. It's in the dome, so there should be no weather conditions this week. So that's pretty much what I have it.
One would fucking hope. Am I right? One would
Absolutely,
fucking hope.
absolutely.
Yes.
It's about time. Yusuf,
Yeah.
please.
All right. I'm
I
going
feel
my
like I've seen
handcuff
this
play.
guy fucking 45 times for you.
I mean, I wasn't wrong the first time.
No, you
Um,
weren't. He did
but
get
then after
shot
that,
though.
he just literally died. Anyway,
Literally?
Ricky Pearsall. No, thankfully. It was this close though, from a 17-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, moving on. Ricky Pearsall, wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers, going up against the Carolina Panthers this week. He's projected 10.26 points. His boom projection is 15.7 points. It is his second game back from his PCL injury. Um, Last week, finished with one fucking point, and it was a 0 yard catch.
That's
So
fucking so sad.
I couldn't believe it. Um, and this week he's going up against the top five defense in the pass, against the pass and against wide receivers. Like I mentioned, second game back from injury. However, I do think that he just needed that game to acclimate again back to the offense. He entered that game he was supposed to be on a snap count, but then he was out there for like quite a bit in that second half. I think Shanahan and the Niners just saw so many gaps in the Arizona defense, so they thought it would be a good opportunity, and we just absolutely dogged them. However, he only touched the ball one time. Purdy does, and he has proven that he loves Ricky Pearsall in terms of targets. He showed it early in the season. Um, and with both of them kind of getting back in the groove of things, I see him starting to pick up speed again this week. I do think that he will not receive the JC, like any type of targeting from JC Horn or the majority of the defensive attention for Carolina. Obviously, Kittle has been eating since he came back too. I think McCaffrey is going to be important, but
Is this
I
game
think
in Carolina?
I believe so. Actually, I don't know.
If it's in Carolina, CMC owners better rejoice.
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
Revenge
he's gonna
game.
fuck. He is going to fuck.
I don't necessarily think it's a revenge game. I just think it's like a comfortable, like a comfortability type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, let it be known also, like McCaffrey did not want to get traded. He never requested a trade to
I
Carolina.
I don't think I can sit here and say that he's sad about that though.
He's not sad about it. I'm
It
pretty
was
sure
it
he's
was
happy
more
as
of a
fuck.
mutual. I think it was more of a mutual thing. Like Carolina was losing at that point, and he wanted to win. He don't want to waste his prime, but he wanted to win in Carolina. So
Bro, he talked about it and he also mentioned like, bro, I just bought a house in Carolina. Like I was ready to stay and all this stuff. He's like, I thought I was gonna be here for my whole career, but it is what it is. But he's been so professional about it. I don't think he was like really heartbroken about it. So it was a win-win for both. I think we won the trade, but I think Carolina long term, obviously, you could see the team is starting to actually pick up steam and look like a football team.
Does
Um,
anyone know when the fuck Ayuk is gonna come back?
Probably not
Do
until
anything?
I don't think he's gonna come back this year, bro. Honestly, I'd be really surprised if he does come back this season.
Well, that's disappointing.
But
But anyway,
John Lynch did say he plans on having him come back this year.
you know you can't bank on anything the 49ers front office says about injuries. Yeah. Anyway, though, let's move on to our bus players for week 12. For clarification, these are players that we think will not do good that you probably have in your starting lineup, especially Majid's. But I'm going to start with mine. I have Chase Brown from the Cincinnati Bengals. His Week 12 matchup is the New England Patriots. His Week 12 PPR projection is 15.8, and my bus PPR projection is 8.4. Since the arrival of Joe Flacco in Cincy, we have seen the revival of Chase Brown. He's averaging almost 20 fantasy points per game since Joe Flacco has come to the Cincinnati Bengals. But this week has a dark cloud looming over it. I'm not here to say that Joe Burrow is going to make this offense look any worse if he were to come back, considering he was a full-time practice participant today. Um, but I do think that just because they are going against the best run defense in the NFL, especially in a pass-first offense for Cincy, I think that's where it's going to make this a little difficult for Chase Brown. I don't want you to let the Jamar Chase suspension fool you, fool all of you. Excuse me. The Patriots have not allowed, or they hadn't allowed, a 50-yard rushing game from any running back up until last week. There was no running back that rushed for more than 50 yards. It's been great to see Chase Brown back, but I think he's probably hovering around the 8 to 10 point mark. I know a lot of you are confident starting him now because of the 4 game stretch that I alluded to earlier, but you got to bench him this week. You have to.
I agree with that. I ain't gonna complain. We talked about the Patriots defense this whole entire year. Their defense, in my opinion, is for real. Obviously, the offense just questions around just because who they've been playing, but obviously the players they got, obviously getting Melton Williams from the Eagles, obviously Gonzalez is finally healthy for once in his career, actually playing more than 2 games. So I think that's a pretty good pick.
God
Moving,
damn, Yusuf, you
yeah.
couldn't let Majid win this week. He followed that shit up with some crazy shit.
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
All right.
God
Now we
damn!
get
I just
into
saw
it.
that. I just
Really quick though. I like Zay's point. Don't let the Chase suspension fool you into committing to a Chase Brown this week. Because
Absolutely not.
like Zay alluded to it, the Patriots have been the best run defense in the NFL this season. So it's not looking good. So, but I know a lot of people are gonna look at Jamar Chase getting suspended and really fully ride on the Chase Brown way for this week,
Also, he's
but
a
don't
whole
get fooled
bitch
by
for
it.
that, by the way. What are you lying for? 4K, bro.
Bro,
fake
so
Spit
ass
a
shit.
whole water bottle at him.
he
That
said
shit
if I
was
wanted to spit on him, I would have spit in his face, not towards the ground. All right, bro. Shut the fuck up, man.
You spit in his face. You spit literally inside of his mouth on the ground, my ass, bro. It was like a pool of
Shout out
saliva.
Jalen Carter.
hey hell yeah.
Nasty as fuck,
All
bro.
right. Moving on from the spit though. Yusuf talked about with Josh Jacobs that 1 week he wants to get spicy. So can't get
I'm about to
spicier
spit on you,
now.
bro.
Listen, my bus player this week is Justin Jefferson. Listen,
Boo!
I know you guys are all saying I'm crazy,
How
I'm crazy.
how
Boo!
original.
But just
Boo!
How
listen.
original. How
But
original.
but just listen. Just wait till Sunday at 1:05 p.m. once the game is concluded against Green Bay. And I send you guys all a text in the group chat. You guys are gonna be like, man, that was a good call, Majid. That was right. Your daddy, Majid. I'm gonna listen to you from now on. Just wait till that. Listen, they're playing a Green Bay Packers team whose offense I cannot stand, but have a great defense. Okay. Justin Jefferson is arguably number one, if not number two, best receiver in the league. So you guys are calling me crazy right now. What made me think of a bust Justin Jefferson? Now let me tell you this though. He's projected 17.5. I have him at 7.8. Who's this QB? JJ S. McCarthy. JJ McCarthy has a lot of question marks. Somehow only knows how to get in clutch for one drive towards the end of the game, but doesn't know how to throw the ball more than 10 yards. Aaron Jones is back now. You saw Aaron Jones get fed last week, scored a touchdown. Jordan Addison is clear cut to be the favorite receiver for Carson Wentz and JJ McCarthy, even though you have Justin fucking Jefferson on your team. TJ Hawkinson has been more involved. So, let alone playing this Green Bay secondary that's helped most of these receivers to less than 80 yards a game, I don't see any difference right now this week with JJ McCarthy playing at QB. So that's my reasoning on it. You think I'm crazy? Like I said, I'll see you guys Sunday at 1:05 p.m. when I send that text.
All right, bro. I guess.
No,
Shit.
no, Yusuf, you don't got no fucking room to talk right now, bro.
Why?
Because of what's about to come out of your mouth. That's why.
All right. I got Josh Allen as my buzz player.
Okay, bro. What?
My man is projected 21.37 points against the
We've
Houston
been gone
Texans.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
What, bro? I low key, I hit on these though. Y'all can't lie. I hit on these.
And I'm the crazy one for benching.
I have a good
No,
track
no,
record with
no.
this
Real
shit.
shit though. If you hit this, that's crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because he just
Saying,
dropped
man.
what, like 45 fucking fantasy points?
Yeah, he went what 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
I got Josh Allen facing the Houston Texans. He's projected 21.37 points. I have him as a 13.5 point bust. Allen is back in form after a magnificent performance. However, this week is way different. The Texans boast the best defense in the NFL against the pass and just overall in general. They continue to carry that team heavily, and the D'Amico Ryans led team will come at Allen early and often. And they could blitz or they could rush for almost every single time. They've shown that they're capable of doing so. With Khalil Shakir still looking to be the main target, when Keon Coleman having disciplinary issues, I don't see this being a huge Josh Allen game. I'm seeing this being more of a James Cook game. And I think
Yeah,
James
you'd
Cook is
like
gonna.
that, wouldn't you?
I would love that so much, especially because Deck has Josh Allen and I have James Cook. So I would appreciate
Yeah,
if that
that
happens.
would be nice. Is that what you're trying to do right now?
No,
Are you trying to like
no,
speak
I
this
just
into existence?
I
He's
pray to
he's
God it does.
projecting so hard right now. He's
Yeah,
I
projecting
hope so.
mad.
it might be.
Shit. But it's not like I'm choosing someone that's playing against the 30th ranked defense in the NFL.
I'm on to you.
All right, man. I mean, shit. It is what it is, bro.
Well, we have some bold ones for you guys this week then.
Oh boy.
Honestly, my Chase Brown one is still kind of bold considering what he's been doing lately. So if we were to go 6 for 6 this week, Hand
I'll be
jobs.
happy if we go 4 for 6, bro. I'll be happy if we go 4 for 6. Yeah. All right.
All right, but that's gonna do it for boom or bust for week 12. You know what's next? If you've been here for a while, you know the drill. We got plug in, pull out for week 12. We're gonna give you 10 players. Naoki's gonna read them off. The three of us are gonna tell you whether or not you should start him or bench him. Plug in, pull out.
First name up, we have Woody Marks versus the Buffalo Bills. Imagine.
I'm plugging in this week. Woody Marks, listen, again, see, I can't say anything without Yusuf's eyes glowing up like I said something criminal. Woody Marks has been having a past couple weeks has had I can't speak right now. Fuck, Yusuf's face just makes me can't speak right now, bro. My grammar, everything. I'm just
Are you
retarded.
in love or something right
I'm
now?
retarded.
I'll
Yusuf
leave, I'll
just
leave you speechless.
the aura right now, bro.
I'll
Like,
leave you speechless.
I need
Magic.
some
Is that
Drake.
what
I
it
need
is?
some Drake right now, brother.
I fell in love with somebody who doesn't even know my name. No, no.
All right, fuck this shit. All right,
Damn!
listen,
Well,
listen, listen,
we just got copyright struck.
listen.
Damn!
Shout out
Listen,
to Tory Lanez,
back to what I
man.
was
Free
saying.
him.
Damn!
Woody Marks having a pretty good last 3 weeks. Nick Chubb is clearly not a running back that should be in the NFL anymore. Send him to the Canadian League. That boy's career is over. Woody Marks is looking good, especially with CJ Stroud out of the game. You could see Davis Mills. He likes, those little check downs. If you guys been watching the Texans games,
Hey,
so
Davis Mills would like that.
hey, some could say he's outperforming CJ Stroud this year. That's all I'm saying. But Woody
Facts.
Marks has been finding the end zone. I know Buffalo's, Buffalo, but I still think this week he's going to have a manageable game where he's going to get you that 13-14 that he's projected. So I think it's a good start to plug in. That's just my opinion.
I'm plugging in this week. He's actually looked better than what Majid has been saying. At least the way he's running the football. I know the fantasy output hasn't exactly been insane, but the way he's running the football and the way he looks out there, the eye test is kind of like starting to show a little bit. I think he's becoming the clear number one over there as well. And with Davis Mills throwing the football that he's throwing it, I don't see why they can't get the run game going against the Buffalo Bills, who notoriously have been known over the last 3 or 4 years to be horrible against the run. So, yeah, all things point in the direction of plug in.
I'm gonna add up, just say plug in on that one too, because these guys said everything else. I mean, there's not much else to say. Woody Marks is on a heater, and he's gonna continue.
All right, next name up, we have Emmanuel Wilson versus the Minnesota Vikings. Imagine.
This one's a tricky one. A lot of people are going to say plug in. I'm actually going to pull out. The Minnesota Vikings defense, I know, has been on and off. Started the year crazy. Then the year obviously went back down. Josh Jacobs is out. I don't believe in the Packers offense. You guys know where I stand on this, let alone it's a divisional game. Minnesota's front defense has been pretty decent this year. I just don't see what are you trying to expect from Wilson? Are you looking for just that 8-point, 9-point game? Or are you looking for him to get you something manageable to start as like a flex option or a RB2 for Josh Jacobs owners? I just don't see that as a plug-in against Minnesota.
I'm really on the fence for this one. Like, I understand what you're saying, Majid, but for me, it's more in the terms of like, I think this is a must win for the Packers. Like, the Packers cannot lose this game, especially with the Bears now holding the division, with the Lions still there, obviously. I just don't think there's a way that they can lose this game and be okay with it. So, I don't know. I mean, the Packers love to use the run. I just obviously I haven't really seen what that looks like without Josh Jacobs, considering the fact that he's been a machine for them the last 2 seasons. For that reason, I feel like Wilson will be capable of being able to get in the end zone at least once, maybe even twice. Uh, this one's hard, man. Naoki, what do you think? Coin flip it for me. Hit me with
Pull
the
out.
6-7 real quick.
Bro, come on. We're gonna ban that shit from the show, bro. Next
I do
singing,
like that
shit is so
"Tra-la-la-la-la." Let's start that bullshit next.
I'm gonna pull out.
I
I'm gonna pull out. I'm gonna pull
yeah.
out. I'm pulling out. Yusuf, unmute yourself, bitch.
I say pull out as well. I don't. I think in big games like this, as much as it pains me to say this, I mean Jordan Love, low key shows up in big games. I'm gonna be honest, but he ghosts in the games where you expect them to win.
Bro, he's been a bucket of hot shit.
Lately, yes, absolutely.
Holy fuck.
Oh
So
my
is that
God.
Monday night primetime game against the Eagles not a must-win at home in Lambeau?
I mean, neither one of y'all showed up. Y'all both deserve to
Hey,
lose that
no,
fucking game.
our defense showed up. Our offense.
Yeah,
showed up.
both of
Honestly,
you.
honestly speaking, I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. That was one of the fucking worst football games I've
I've
ever
ever
watched in my entire
and,
life.
and let it sink in that
And
I
I
had
watched that shit from start to finish for no
and
reason.
guess what? If that pains you, I had to drive all the way. I watched that shit in the Cosm. Okay, okay. I spent money to watch that whole shit game,
Yeah.
bro.
Do you want to know
Bro,
what
bro
something else
dropped
that
like
pains
50
me?
bucks to do that.
You know
To
what
watch a
pains
game
me
that didn't
about
get
that
more than
game,
3 points
Magic?
in the first 3 quarters.
What
Oh,
pains
that's
me about that
horrible.
game is that Josh Jacobs got a rushing touchdown and fucking Alex took a 2-point lead on me in fantasy. And I was like, I don't know who said it. I think Isaiah said it in the chat or Dex said it. He said, imagine Josh Jacobs fumbles.
Oh, that
Alex
was
also had Devontae Smith. So he made one catch. Next thing you know, he's up by 3 points. But
that's
guess what? Josh
hilarious.
Jacobs fumbled the next fucking possession. I lost by 1 point. 1 point, bro.
I remember that. It's
Hey,
like yesterday.
I was
hey,
hot.
that's fantasy football for you, bro.
I was hot, bro.
Hey, you think that's you're hot from that? Nothing's worse than it being first and goal on the 4 yard line, and they didn't want
Enough
to run the ball.
heartbreak.
Why do you need the ball? Why do you need the ball, bro?
Oh my God. Hurry up,
Let's
bro.
move
Let's
on to
move
the
on.
next player.
Move on to the next one, bro. Come on. Michael Wilson.
Next up, we have another Wilson person. We got Michael Wilson versus the Jacksonville
Wilson.
Jaguars.
I'm plugging in, bro. Listen,
Plug all the way in.
18 targets, bro. That's what we're doing.
Jacoby Brissett just airs that bitch out at this point.
Bro,
He's not gonna have he's not gonna have 200 yards, but he's gonna.
Jacoby
He's
Brissett
still gonna be
had
a player.
45 completions.
Hey,
last week.
47.
47, bro.
Yes,
What?
yes. Yep.
Bro,
That's
15
the
of them
record.
were to Wilson, and he almost had 200 yards on
I'm
us.
telling you that team is just filled with two people, McBride and Wilson, and that's it. And if I'm Arizona, I'm benching Kyler for the rest of the year. Okay,
Absolutely.
If you want somewhat any
it.
like, listen, I don't know, but that's a plug-in, bro.
That's hilarious though that Jacoby Brissett has like broken like so many quarterback records the last like 3 weeks, and they've lost every single
Single
game.
game. Yep.
That is
Wait, no, did they
so
not win the game
Arizona
against the
Cardinals.
Cowboys? Did they not win that Monday night against the Cowboys?
Did they?
They did. I think so. The one
Well,
with Nealon's
sorry,
last game?
1-2. My bad. But losing a game and completing 47 passes is
insane.
fucking
That's insane.
hilarious.
Did you catch what this motherfucker just said right now? Let's move on.
Why do
Just say it.
you don't stop it? Because then you
I
validate
just wanted him to realize I heard it. That's all it is.
No, I heard it too. I heard it too. I didn't comment on it. Next name up, we have Alec Pierce versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Imagine.
I'm pulling out. Listen, Alec Pierce is literally the definition of boomer bust. He's either gonna have one catch for 80 yards or zero catches for the entire game. You know, Kansas City's in a I don't even know what mode Kansas City are in right now, bro. If I'll be honest with you. It's been a must win for the last 6 weeks, and yet they're still losing every game. The game is in Kansas City, so I don't know. I don't think he's gonna have a good game.
Pulling out.
He's a bucket of shit.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry. Motherfuckers over here
He
talking
actually
about
hasn't been that bad this year.
Okay, they're talking about giving him 20 million a year. Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck.
Fuck no. Well, I wouldn't give him 10 million, bro. Move on.
Next name up, we have Jordan Addison versus the Green Bay Packers. Imagine.
Pulling out. Listen, I love Jordan Addison, and he's been amazing.
Damn, bro, are the Vikings gonna do anything on offense?
I'm being honest, against this Packers, it's you said it yourself. Packers are in a win now situation. You got the Chicago Bears leading the division. You got the lines that are above them in the division. This is a must-win, game.
How are they gonna score?
Addison, even if Addison scores a touchdown this whole year, like Addison's not going to score more than 11, 10 fantasy points. Like 10, like he'll have Addison this whole year has been like garbage time touchdown, but before that he only had 2 catches for like 15 yards. So his fantasy points come up to 10. If we're talking about fantasy wise, I don't see this as a plug-in. I don't think he's going to score more than 11 points fantasy wise.
I don't know, man. I kind of like this one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't know. I think Packers
Me
corners.
saying to start Jordan Addison only proves your Justin Jefferson point, by the way. Because
Nah,
if I say bench Addison, then
who's
that's
getting the
crazy.
ball? But I agree with you.
Someone's getting the ball on the
But
especially with the
it's
struggles that have gone out there. Like
but
someone's getting the ball.
JJ McCarthy's struggling without a good defensive line. Now imagine when he has Micah Parsons, Kenny Clark, and all these other studs, Gary just running at him. You think he's gonna even have enough time to even get that ball out? I'm telling you, this is literally Aaron Jones' game. Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason at best.
Well, the Vikings have a hell of an offensive line. It's not necessarily him struggling against a blitz package or anything like that. He just sucks.
Yeah, and them having a good blitz is not gonna help that situation.
Like
I
it's
just
just,
don't see.
but it's just an accuracy issue. It's not necessarily like he doesn't have time to
Yes,
throw or
Yusuf.
the
Yes.
line sucks. Talk to me, Yusuf.
Jordan Addison, 4 career games against the Green Bay Packers, has 19 catches for 281 yards and 4 touchdowns.
All right.
4 touchdowns in 4 games.
And who's his QBs? Kirk Cousins.
Do you also
Oh
remember
wow,
who's?
that's wonderful.
Hey,
Do you remember?
Sam Darnold. Players that are
Okay, before that, because Addison's career dates back to further. You remember who the fuck was throwing him the ball? Was it
what's
Case
his name?
Keenum and
Hey,
Kirk Cousins?
hey,
The fuck out of here.
Case Keenum's the hero for Minnesota. You guys remember that playoff game? To
Okay,
Diggs.
whoopty fucking do. Fantastic, bro. Just move
Addison
on.
wasn't there for
Hey,
that.
listen,
I'm saying plug in, bro.
I love Addison. I hope he proves me wrong, but I just think it's pull out. But plug in
I'm
for
plugging
you,
in.
Isaiah.
Yeah, plugging in.
All right. Who's next?
Next name.
You
muted
muted
You're,
yourself.
you're on mute. You're on mute.
My bad. Next name up, we have Jared Goff, another quarterback,
This
versus
is this
the New York Giants.
this is gonna be a plug-in. It's Jared Goff. I told you guys, it's the same shit. When he's outside the dome, he's gonna get 6 fantasy points. When he's in the dome, he's gonna score like 30 fantasy points. Garbage ass game last week. This game, Amon-Ra is gonna score 30 fantasy points. Jameson Williams is gonna have like 19. Jared Goff is gonna have like 25. Gibbs is gonna have like 25. I'm telling you, this is literally gonna dig down. They're gonna dig down the Giants this week. I'm telling you right now.
Watch them lose because you said that shit.
I hope so too. I hate them. I'm just saying. Listen, Jared Goff, I'm telling you, he's the most inconsistent. It's like he plays the league based on bye weeks. It's like every other week how he wants
Yeah.
to perform.
Honestly, I'm gonna agree with you. Plug in, but I fucking hate Jared Goff, bro.
Oh, I hate him. I cannot stand him. I'm just saying that's the reality. When they play in the dome and when they play
Yeah.
out.
He's not.
Plug in, bro. I think it's a no-brainer.
All right. Next name up, we have Aaron Jones, Sr.
Imagine,
versus
I
the Green
swear
Bay
to God,
Packers.
bro.
Plug in. I'm telling you, this is his game.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
Alright.
and his
gonna
former
say,
team.
bro.
I'm telling you, listen, and we'll talk about it later because my game of the week, we'll talk about that later. But I think he's the only one that's going to see the end zone this week because I have them not scoring that many points. But it's a check down merchant. They're going to be forced to run the ball a decent amount of time. I think this is Aaron Jones' game.
Yeah, I like it. That's honestly my same thought here. I don't see like a crazy game, at least rushing wise, but I do see him getting a lot of
Check downs.
touches in the past game.
Yep.
I wouldn't call him checkdowns because he's been running a lot more routes than we're used to seeing Aaron Jones run in the
The
past.
wheel route.
Yeah, the wheel route is lethal with Aaron Jones, bro. I swear to God, he's open every fucking time. It's just a matter of, being able to get him the fucking football from JJ McCarthy. But I don't know. I like this game for Aaron Jones. I think you should plug him in, which a lot of people probably are.
I'd say plug in too. I don't see him getting less than 15 points this game, to be honest with you. I see this as a big opportunity. I think he gets more than 5 catches.
Former
like if
team, by
I,
the way, former team.
yeah, I mean, is that game going to be in Green Bay, by the way?
I believe. Oh.
It should be, bro. Green Bay hasn't had a home game in like fucking
It
forever.
is in Green Bay.
Yeah.
It's in Green Bay.
Yeah, so I mean, I see this as a great opportunity for him. I think he's going to eat. So, yeah, I think plug in Aaron Jones.
All right. Next name up, we got Eagles legend, Kenneth Gainwell versus Chicago Bears.
Shut the fuck out of here with this bullshit, bro.
I'm plugging out, bro. Listen, Kenneth Gainwell,
He
Warren,
had
lead him.
himself a day last week, though.
He did, but again, now you got no Rodgers there, so I don't know who's the backup. Rudolph. Who the fuck cares? My point is,
Oh yeah, Mr. Fucking I say the N-word to Miles Garrett for some reason.
yes, that guy there. Playing the Bears. The Bears, in my opinion, Ben Johnson did a great job. They're looking good, but they're pretenders in the playoffs. But I don't have Kenneth Gainwell having a good. This is a plug out for me.
Really quickly, I'm gonna stand on it again. Mason Rudolph did say that. Okay? I just need y'all to know that.
Yeah, I'm
And I'm
racist.
also plugging out. I mean, is Warren I didn't check. Is Warren playing?
He
He's
was
questionable right now,
questionable
right?
yesterday. I don't know about today's practice status. Let me check that actually right now.
Because honestly, for me, it really depends if Warren
Well, of course,
plays.
I'm going in with because it's looking good. I'm going in if Warren is playing. Um, actually, he did not participate either today, so actually, I'm gonna have to rethink this one.
So that's where I'm at with this one. If Jalen Warren doesn't play, I'm starting
I'll
Kenneth
get it.
Gainwell.
Yeah, I think we can all
That's
agree to that.
that's what it is for me.
I'm pulling out regardless if Jalen Warren plays or not. No. What the fuck? No. I hate Kenneth Gainwell, bro. I don't care how good I hate him. He pisses me
That's
What'd he
off.
do to
Super
you?
Bowl champ, babe.
He Philly fans. That's why I hate him. Move on.
All
All
right,
right,
next up, we got a Street Logic sports staple. The fourth overall pick, tied in out of Florida, now playing for the Falcons. Kyle Pitts versus the New Orleans Saints. What we got, boys?
I love how we're all just staring at each other.
One, two, three, pull out.
Plug in.
What?
Whoa, whoa,
He's a lie. He's not on purpose. He's lying. He's lying.
whoa.
He's listening. He's
No, I'm
lying.
actually plugging in this week.
Okay. You explain, please.
It's not crazy. I don't think
Explain.
it's crazy.
I think that Kirk Cousins is going
Okay,
to go
that's enough
out there this
talking.
week, and I think he's going to go out there and throw he's going to put up Jacoby Brissett shit. I mean, he hasn't. Think about it. He hasn't had what week did he get pulled last week or last year? Like week 16 or something like
Yeah.
that.
It was week 15, I think. Because Penix played 3 games.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something about this game for some reason for me. I think this first game is gonna look really good for Kirk Cousins, and then it's just gonna go downhill from there. I mean, it's the fucking New Orleans Saints here, right? They're not
Uh,
playing the 2000
can,
Bears.
can I stop you right there? You know the New Orleans Saints right now are ranked number 3 in tight end defense. This is as shitty as they are. They're ranked
Insane.
number 3. Kyle
Do you
Pitts.
know do you know why they're
You know,
ranked that
Kyle
low?
Pitts isn't a tight end.
Let me just do you know why they're ranked that low against tight ends or ranked that high against tight ends?
Because they let the receivers get whatever.
Because the receivers fuck them. That's why.
Because they give up 350 passing yards a
Well,
game.
hey, like we said, it's you got Darnell Mooney and a boom. That's understandable. If we don't know if London's gonna play, but
He's not. He's
what
out.
people loved about Penix was the fact that obviously Bijan gets all those like screen or check down passes, which gives Bijan a high stock. But it also he got Kyle Pitts involved, which Kirk never did last year. So I think now Kirk Cousins coming back. He's gonna feed Mooney. He's gonna obviously Bijan's gonna get the touches he's gonna get. I can see Tyler Algier getting very active in the run game this game.
Tyler Algier can suck the back of my taint.
That's the
That's
reality.
what I'm saying.
But Kyle Pitts, listen,
That's real shit.
Kyle Pitts is going back to the Kyle Pitts we know, the one that we're gonna leave on the bench, maybe the waiver wires. That's the reality.
No, start him.
No.
Believe with me, man. You know how great that would be if we
I'm
called the
a
Kyle Pitts generational week?
I'm gonna
That shit's
switch
doing
my
numbers,
vote.
I
I'm
swear.
gonna switch my vote just for the hell of wanting to see what happens here. I say plug in Kyle Pitts. Fuck it.
It was
Why not?
always Kyle Pitts.
It was always you.
In year what, 7? He's finally figuring it
Year
out.
five.
It feels like year 14, to be honest
Bro,
with you.
it feels like he's been in the NFL for an eternity and still hasn't done anything.
Yep.
Last name up on the plug and pull out segment, we have Magic's favorite wide receiver in the
Fuck
NFL,
you.
Zay Flowers, going up against the New York Jets this week. What are we doing, boys?
I
Listen,
have him in fantasy before you guys talk to me. You don't need to tell me shit. I already know the deal.
listen. Let me tell you guys this right now. If right now the NFL admitted that the NFL is rigged and the gambling's right, listen. If it's a guarantee tomorrow that Zay Flowers has a career year of 280 yards off of 14 receptions and 3 touchdowns, and it's a guarantee it's gonna happen, I'm still plugging the fuck out. Okay? You hear me, Yusuf? I'm plugging the fuck out.
You just sound like a jahil, honestly.
Listen,
Saying that shit.
goddamn. Listen, Zay Flowers. If I like, you see, you guys, I can't say that. It's probably gonna get taken down on YouTube if I say what I don't say. With the Pat Bev situation, but Zay Flowers. Like, if I met Zay Flowers in real life, I think it'd be like a Draymond Green moment. Like, I don't want a picture. I want to do other things. No, not inappropriate. See,
What do you mean by that?
That sounds wrong. I don't mean it in an appropriate way. I mean, as
Hey,
in,
yo.
Lock in, twin. What the fuck?
I mean, let's square up. That's what I mean. I don't mean no.
Show me your 1-2.
Huh?
Show me the 1-2. Get out of the chair. Show me the 1-2.
Yeah, stand up, stand up, stand up.
That's the 1-2.
All right, bro. Yeah.
Wait. One more time. I don't think the camera picked it
You're
up.
getting
One more time.
brain
One more time.
damage, twin.
What's
I don't
that?
think the camera picked it up.
I'm sorry.
All right, bro.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Oh fuck! I got clipped.
Clip it,
We're
chat.
clipping it. Chat, we're
Hey,
so
Motherfucker just
clipping that.
bounced on
I'm
Zay
so-
Flowers. That's crazy.
Dude becomes a streamer and doesn't know how to act all of a sudden.
Hey, listen.
Hey, the thumbnail's gonna be Majid bounced on Zay Flowers. All right,
Listen.
that shit's getting clipped. I promise you.
I'm selling my soul for Street Logic Sports to get famous, bro.
I promise you, brother.
You guys will thank me 10 years.
Wow, bro.
We're on
Oh my
ESPN.
God.
Pat McAfee /
Start
Street
Zay
Logic Sports.
Flowers, bro. I'm tired of the slander, even though he's doing it to himself.
Yusuf,
Plug
speak up,
in, bro. Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah,
And I'm sick of the talk too. I fucking hate him. I don't like him. I don't like.
he's
Zay
dropping
Flowers.
30 this week, by the way.
Yeah, but it's the Jets, bro. And every single time that I think something negative would happen to a certain player and I see them playing against the Jets, I'd be remiss not to say plug in. So plug in.
Fair enough. And that's gonna do the plug in pull out segment for week 12. Thank you guys for tuning in, boys. Thank you guys for you guys' input and analysis or lack thereof.
Let me cook,
We-
Naoki.
You want to go?
Yeah, let me cook.
All right. Go
And
ahead.
Naoki, you join in with the boys. Let me mediate for a little bit, all right? All right, so it's time to have a convo. You guys know we do this segment every time we do the show. It's basically we have some topics here just for us to talk some football so you guys can kind of gauge how we see the game outside of fantasy. We have 3 topics for you guys today. I have the topic, and then I have the questions that I'm going to ask you guys, all right? And I need each and every one of you to answer it. And if I'm satisfied with your answer, I'll move on. Sound good?
Sir. Yes, teacher.
Sir, yes, sir. All right. First topic, the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going to start it off with a leadoff question. Are they the best team in the NFL? Plain and simple.
No doubt. It pains me to say that, but no doubt.
I think they're the most convincing. I think there are, in terms of record, there are other teams that are up there with them, but I think in terms of what I see on the field, and I think based on what I know they can offer on a week-to-week basis, on a consistent basis, I think that they are. And I know it hurts me to say it as an Eagles fan. I know it hurts Yusuf even more as a divisional fan of a divisional rival. But I think just from both sides of the ball, I think they're the best for sure. Especially with the inconsistencies that we've seen out of the Eagles on the offensive side this year. I think the Rams have taken that crown so far.
Magic?
You guys pretty much covered everything I was going to say. The Rams have looked great. Yusuf, you want to go real quick?
I did want to add. Well, continue.
No, go. I'll go after you.
I did want to add this part. Are they the current number 1 seed in the NFC? Okay.
No.
No. Let's say hypothetically they do end up being the number 1 seed come playoff time. Right? I can sure as shit fucking tell you, bro. The one team they do not want to see in the playoffs is us. because we know the motherfuckers like the back of our fucking hand. And I guarantee you what happened the week prior will not happen again. So as I think any team, bro, any team
Are
like
you
the
sure about that?
Rams, I'm 100% sure. 100% sure. I promise you, if we play them in the playoffs, we will win that game.
That's
So
Come
just
in
back
my
to
terms
me.
of in terms of record as it stands, the Eagles and the Rams are tied for first in the NFC, both at 8-2. And I do agree. I don't think the Rams would want to see the Niners, and I also don't think they don't want to see the Eagles either come that time of the year,
Oh
especially if
no,
the
they like
Eagles.
y'all. They like
Well,
y'all.
I'm just
They
like
like you
based
guys.
off of the time of the calendar year, right? Like the Rams play in Los Angeles. We live in Los Angeles, or three of us do.
I know that you don't want to see him in LA. If it's in Philly, it's a different story.
Yeah,
I
Right.
yeah,
know you don't
100%.
want
And
to see him
in
in
the
LA.
dome, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I can see where you're going.
if the Eagles just somehow just barely gets above them by like a game, then yeah, for sure. But if they end up finishing above the Eagles, then I could see like home field advantage for both of those teams. But then again, you look at even if the Eagles come to play in Los Angeles, it's like it would just be like any other game in the fall for the
It's more
Eagles.
so the
But
weather
for
aspect because the weather was horrible when they played
that's
in the
what I'm
playoffs
saying. So
last year.
if the
Mhm.
like the Rams should still be wary of the Eagles come playoff time, regardless if they finish above or below the Eagles. If the Eagles finish above the Rams, I think the Rams should still be shook about it. But if the Eagles finish below the Rams, I don't think it really fully matters that as
Brother,
much as we think it does.
brother, if the Rams finish second and we end up finishing seventh in the
That's by
NFC,
the yep.
that's a wild card game in LA. And every single time we play in LA, you know who the home team is.
It's a division. Yeah, it's up in the air. I'll
It's
give you that one.
they, bro. They want to go first. They want to be the first place team. That's. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about it.
Well, really quickly, I mean, you guys are kind of like alluding to my second question already, but since we all consider them the consensus number one team in the NFL, who do you think the runner-up is, and
Let me.
how close
Yeah.
is that gap?
Let me take this one here real quick. If going back to that first question, just to continue what I was gonna say is, we're saying who is the best team or who looks the best. Obviously, Philly are sitting at one record wise just because the tiebreaker they have. The Rams look the best now because the fashion they're winning in. Stafford's clear MVP number one right
It's
now.
not like the record is that
No,
different.
it's yeah. That's no, not the record. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying as in who the best team in the NFL is, and you guys can call me biased here. I'm gonna say Philly only for the reason because number one, our defense is elite. Our defense has looked amazing. That's not the issue. What's sucking is our offense. That's what makes people boring to watch. The NFL is not meant to be fun to watch. It's about if you can win. In the end of the day, we are. Listen, I'm saying as a team wise, not as a fan
You guys
perspective.
did beat the Rams. I'll give you
Listen,
that. You
I know, and it didn't look pretty, but obviously we came down in the
guys
end.
almost blew that
We
shit.
almost blew that shit too, yes. But what I'm trying to say is this: the Rams are winning in sexy fashion. Matthew Stafford's throwing for 400 yards a game, airing that bitch up to Devontae Adams every 2 seconds. It's fun to watch. It's you can't ignore what's happening. Their defense is also respectable. It's not the best defense, but it's a respectable. Obviously, with Fisk there, with Jared Verse there. Obviously, the corner last week I forgot his name. The one that just had not Durant, the other one that just had like 3 picks. It looks good, but if we're talking about who the best is, Philly is playing like shit. Like offensively, not defensively. Offensively, they're playing like eighth graders that are jerseys, but they're still finding a way to win
We're
the
gonna
game.
get to that.
So
We're
that's
gonna
I
get
don't
to
know,
that.
but so what I'm saying is when you're asking who the runner up, I'm gonna have Philly there because in the end of the day, it's like I think Philly's still the best team because they're still finding ways to win, but the Rams look the best right now. So obviously, if this is how they look now, playoff time is gonna get scary because teams will get better as the playoff picture comes. Obviously, the Eagles getting the ass kicked by the Giants. You saw the immediate switch. It looked a little better. It's not where we want to be, but it did look a little better. Sometimes you need that. Obviously, there's a lot of circulating room happening. So that's what I think. But playoffs is going to be a lot different.
Okay. I think I heard all I needed to hear about the Rams, so let's move on to topic number two. The Chicago Bears, at this current time, own the NFC North with a record of 7-3. I told y'all last week, I know we didn't get the episode up, but I did tell you guys it could get scary if the fucking Lions went out and lost that game. And they did. So now, granted, the division lead is only one game, but do they have enough to keep it to the end of the year? Let me remind you guys, the Packers are 6-3-1, and the Lions are 6-4. So I'm going to ask the panel, go in whatever order you want. Will the Chicago Bears end the season with the NFC North title?
Yes.
Woo!
There's a couple reasons. Ben Johnson, first and foremost, tip my hat to the guy. Fantastic. I know that's the next question, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on that right now. But shout out to Ben Johnson. Second of all, Caleb Williams, last few weeks has looked fucking incredible. He has made some magnificent throws, and we have not been big fans of Caleb Williams on this show. Let it be clear, and let it be known. You can go check the tape. We have not been big fans of Caleb Williams on the show. He has looked magnificent these last few weeks. He's finally starting to get in his groove. I think he's finally starting to understand the Ben Johnson offense and what he expects of him. And it's simple. Now they have a good running game. You have DeAndre Swift, who looks great. You have Kyle Monangai, the rookie out of Rutgers. He looks great. Um, Sometimes DJ Moore is like not involved in the offense, but he can get involved in the offense and be prove to be a good factor. Colston Loveland looks like a great tight end. Luther Burden III looks like he's got great potential to be a good receiver in this league. Romo Dunze also, he has been struggling the last couple of weeks, but he's also been having a great year. But my key is with the Bears, and as to why they look so good this year, and the thing that sets them apart from previous years is number one, they're winning games ugly. They don't usually do that. The games like,
They're winning a lot of games ugly.
bro, a lot of these games, these one possession games, these are the games that they used to lose, bro. They
Yeah.
used to lose these games constantly, but they're winning games in an ugly fashion, which we're not used to seeing from them. And I got to tip my hat to them because although it's looked ugly, they come out with the win. That team, that shows the team has heart. And number two, Jalen Johnson, who I think is a top 3 corner in the NFL, is finally back. He's getting in his groove again. I think is going to prove to be a huge bolster to this defense at a perfect time. So that's what I have to say regarding the Chicago Bears.
Moving here, I'm actually going to disagree on this. I'm happy where the Bears are at, and I hope they can finish this division with leading the division because I don't want to see Green Bay or Detroit get home field advantage. But I'm gonna disagree with you on two conditions. Number one, obviously the Bears brought up good points on why they're doing good and winning these ugly games, but the Chicago Bears also had a respectable schedule, to start the year off. When you look at the Chicago Bears schedule, I want to just read this out to you guys. These last 5 games that they're playing, nothing really comes easy besides maybe when I look at the Brown Steelers. Like this week, they got the Steelers. Okay, I hope they'd suck if they don't win that game. But then they got Black Friday. They got Philly in Philly. Then they got Green Bay divisional game in Green Bay. Then they got Cleveland. Obviously, Cleveland's offense is sucky, but they're going to go against that Cleveland defense. We'll see. Then they got another divisional game against Green Bay. Then they got a game in San Francisco versus the Niners, which won't be easy. Sunday night primetime game, Yusuf. And then they'll end the year off against Detroit, which most likely is probably going to be that game is going to decide the division because I have it between the Bears and Lions to win it, just because the Packers also have a gauntlet of a schedule to finish this year off. And Detroit's schedule is, besides the Rams and one of the divisional games against the Packers, the Lions have a respectable, schedule to end off the year. So I think the Lions will finish off the division. Bears will probably come in at 2. I still think the Bears could make the wild card based on how the NFC is looking, but I don't think they'll finish number 1. But I love what I'm seeing from them, and I really do hope they win the division. But
those are great points. Naoki, you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think when it comes to, I agree with Magic. I think it's going to ultimately come down between the Lions and the Bears, and I think it's really hard for me to really pick either one because what would put the Lions over for me and what it ultimately did last year was having Ben Johnson as the OC for Detroit. But they were blowing teams out of the water last year. They were winning games in such convincing fashion whilst also boasting a really good defense. The offense this year has not looked the same with Johnson gone, but I also do think that with Johnson even at the helm in Chicago, yes, as you just said, Caleb has looked great these last few weeks. I think also at the cost of getting consistent good production from DJ Moore, from Adunze. But both of those guys have also really bought in as blockers for the run game. And I think that that's really been thriving. How sustainable is that going to be for the rest of the year? We know DeAndre Swift, when in his time in Detroit, wasn't necessarily the healthiest running back in the NFL. He had a healthy year with the Eagles 2 years ago.
and then he had a relatively healthy year last year. How much can we? And then after him is the rookie. So it's really is a toss up for me, and I do think that I'm afraid that I think that the production for the Bears, I think, might fall off at a certain point. And I think that a Dan Campbell led team in Detroit, who's been in these situations, who know how to close things out to end regular seasons, I think will eventually just things will just start to click a little bit. And I think ultimately, I think the Detroit, just based off of what's been said, I think could just narrowly win out the division, and it's going to be really close.
Really quickly, I know you alluded to it a little bit, Majid, but just to mention, none of us think that the Packers have any chance of taking this division.
It's not that I have Packers. I just think them having that one draw there, it's because it's going to come down, even if the Packers, hypothetically, if you do the math with it, let's say the Packers go and they split 1-1 with Detroit or with Chicago, whoever it is that they're going to do. It's just moving forward with Green Bay. It's like Yusuf said, like Green Bay, it sucks because you see the talent they have and the defense they have. It's just we just don't know who the offense is. Like 1 week, it's Christian Watson came back, he's scoring 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs is out. We don't know how long Josh Jacobs is going to be out, and that can switch a lot of things for Green Bay because Green Bay are known to force feed Josh Jacobs down the middle. So we'll see how that opens up the pass game for Jordan Love. Now knowing you have no Tucker Kraft, who that's his favorite receiver was. Matthew Golden doesn't exist. Jaden Reed's been out the whole entire year. No Josh Jacobs now. We don't know how Wilson's going to be playing in that backfield. So I just think there's a lot of question marks on that offense. The defense could only do so much, and it's the same thing you kind of see with Philly, winning these ugly last second games. So and I think Philly has a better defense. So it just comes down to, obviously, in the end, what Jordan Love can do with the pieces he has.
You're missing one very big point, Majid. Matt LaFleur is the new head of Al Qaeda as well.
My gosh.
Is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how bad it was. Like I knew it was starting to get to the point where it's like, all right, how much leeway are we going to give this guy? How much rope are we going to give him? Right? I didn't realize how bad it was until the fucking Philly game. His play calling was so abysmal. I don't recall the last time I've seen a coach fall apart in such a tight game the way he has. He has been god awful for years now. I was making a point for years. He revived Green Bay. He started getting them back to that point where, like, okay, they can contend. But how many times are you going to start getting back to the point where you can contend and then you just don't take that next step? You got Micah Parsons. We talked about it at the beginning of the season. You got the player that you needed in the spot that you needed. It's very rare that you see a team do that. They went out and did it. And they still look fucking mediocre as fuck. They lost to the Panthers. Not the Panthers aren't a horrible team, but you should be beating the Panthers. And the way you lose to the fucking Cleveland Browns. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's just like a Sports Illustrated version of John Harbaugh.
Bro, he stinks.
Where do you find a defense call out on a crucial 4th-and-1 on your own 50? The defense calls out the play you're running. Who was Jordan Davis or whoever?
Yeah, it was Jordan Davis.
Inside zone. And if the head coach is standing there, fourth quarter, crucial 4th-and-1 to potentially get that first down and take the lead,
that's
don't call a timeout. No,
the crazy part, it could be on LaFleur, but that's also Jordan Love's fucking
yes,
fault.
And that's what I was going to get to. Jordan Love, we get it, took that next step sitting behind Rodgers, learning, and I get that. And that's what I remember before our first episode of the offseason, before any NFL started. You guys remember we had this conversation early on. You guys remember about my hate towards Jordan Love, and you guys said, talking about the ceilings that this guy has. He has a ceiling. The question is, how patient will he be until he reaches that ceiling? Like right now, the talent you bring around him, it's making it sound like you said, Green Bay wants to win now, right? And they expect Jordan Love to be an Aaron Rodgers, a Matthew Stafford type caliber quarterback where he can do that. But it's like, when's he going to do that? You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
It's still like he feels like he's a rookie because he didn't get those reps for those 4 years. Yes, he was watching Rodgers, learning, but he wasn't physically on that field. So right now, you still feel like Jordan Love's still learning. Like he's in that Jaden Daniels, that CJ Stroud, era where like, yes, he can win games, but it's like he's still in the learning process. He needs to understand the game, read the game, and let alone like also you could speak for this, Yusuf, because obviously with the Niners situation, I'm sorry, a kicker is important, bro. They do not have a kicker. 1 second Brandon McManus is in the game, that costed them. They could have beat Philly if they had a kicker. They could have beat the Cleveland Browns. That's the reason why it was so low scoring, because they kept going for it on 4th down instead of shooting field goals against the Browns, because they had no kicker to kick that game. So my point to you is that's also, especially playoffs. The Bears contest to that. Your team contests to that. You need a kicker, especially coming to the playoffs time.
And additionally, too, I think if you add in, you talked about how Josh Jacobs, how long is he going to be out? You don't know. That's going to be a
You
problem
don't
for
know.
them,
It's a knee
right?
injury.
Also, the same thing, a big reason as to why I think Chicago takes that helm in the NFC North. Sam Laporta is on IR for the Lions. And
Yeah, I was gonna get that to you.
as minimizing as you guys may think it is, like, I
It's
don't know,
not.
Isaiah.
Philly are lucky they didn't
Bro,
see that based on the
okay,
man
so
coverage.
we're all in agreement. Sam Laporta is a huge part of this offense.
Huge.
Like
Honor.
last year, he sucked. Last year, he stunk it up a little bit. This year, he started to revive himself. He's having a great year. Him being out with that back injury, like, I get it. You have so many weapons on offense, but you're taking away a huge focal point called the tight end that has been utilized so much. And now the attention is going to be more focused on Jamison Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown in the passing department.
Mm-hmm.
So that puts a lot of pressure on those guys to perform.
So, I agree, and that's where it comes. That's what's lucky too, and that's why I think that game, it's to be determined. But I think that's going to get flexed to a Sunday night or a Monday night, even a Saturday night game. Is the Lions Bears the last game, Yusuf? So I think it's going to be a toss up.
Yeah, let's move on from there. Yeah, obviously none of us see the Bears as Super Bowl contenders, but if there was one addition you could see the Bears making in the offseason to kind of propel themselves into that discussion, what do you think it could be? Where do you think it could be? Lay it out for me. Well, who would you like to see on the Bears that would like really help them?
If it was this past off season, I would have told you go for Myles Garrett.
They could use
but
a real pressure.
Yeah, but
Jalen
I
Phillips.
think you go. Yeah, I think you go free Josh Sweat, bro. You had
Yeah.
him before. I don't know why the fuck you let him go. That's what I'm saying, bro. Go get Josh Sweat, man. He's been crucial for Arizona. He's been awesome. He's had a great year. Go
I
get
agree.
him, bro. Or
I
what? Did
agree.
they have Montez Sweat? I don't remember who it was,
It
but
was Montez Sweat that they had.
it was Montez.
But Josh Sweat also is a stud you could go get.
Dude, go get
That's what
Josh
they said.
Sweat and put him into that defense and watch what happens, bro. Watch your secondary come alive.
Yep.
It's gonna be amazing if they do that. I would love to see that.
I was gonna
All
say
right.
for me, yeah, it's like that, but nothing
Okay.
more to say.
All right, then. Last topic of the day. This is more for Majid and Naoki. I just apologize because we obviously weren't able to get last week's episode out, but we did spend a hefty amount of that episode. We won't spend that much time talking about it this week, but it's time to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm just going to read off a couple stats for you guys, and then this is more so for Majid and Naoki to trauma bond a little bit, but I'm going to read some stats here. Last year, with pretty much the same offensive arsenal for the Eagles, they ranked amongst the league offensively 8th in total yards per game, 12th in points per game, 29th in in passing yards per game, but that's not shocking. 2nd in rushing offense per game, and 1st in red zone touchdown rate. This year goes as 25th in total yards per game, 17th in rushing offense, mind you, same running back. 29th in 3rd down conversion rate, 28th in passing yards per game, again, shocking. But they are still 1st in red zone conversion rate. I don't necessarily think that tells a story this year because they can't fucking get to the red zone. So it doesn't matter. They still have, among analysts, just league-wide analysts, they still consider the Eagles' offensive line as a top 10 offensive line in football, regardless of the injuries. So the offensive line excuse is not there anymore. I just need you guys to tell me right now what the fuck is going on in Philadelphia. Because when one is watching it, right, you'd think it's pretty apparent what the issue is. But when you really break it down and you like look at the numbers and you see where everything's at, none of it really makes sense anymore. So I guess what I want Yusuf and I to do is kind of sit back and listen to you guys talk this out if you can. If you can't, I totally get it because that's how much of a fucking dumpster fire this shit is. But please help us understand what is going on in Philadelphia. Break it down for us. You guys.
I think no, okay, I'll let you go in a sec. I think just real quick, the two main things that come to mind immediately, as I said it from the beginning, I'm not going to use the excuse of Jalen Hurts has had 16 different offensive coordinators in the last 16 years of his life, NFL, college, and high school. But I will tell you, Kevin Petula is the vice president of Al Qaeda with Matt LaFleur, right there. Okay, with Yusuf saying that. Kevin Petula obviously was a great side chick to Kellen Moore when we had him last year. He did good in the QB room. I don't think he is ready enough to take that whole offensive scheme with all those players, especially seeing what Kellen Moore is able to do. And then he kind of thinks he could just kind of do the same thing. That's been the main issue, number one. Number two, like you said, we did rely on our running last year. Again, last year, our offensive line was fully healthy, looked amazing. Obviously, we had Mekhi Becton, who fit in our scheme at that right guard. Starting the year, we don't re-sign Mekhi Becton, so we just have a random right guard who we traded when we traded Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to the Texans. Forgot the guy's name. We ended up releasing him before even the season started because he even went out prior, who was our current right guard. And then Lane Johnston's been literally in and out the lineup the whole entire year. And then you had Landon Dickerson go out the first 3 weeks to start the year. He's been healthy, but then Cam Jurgens, our starting center, has been out the last 2-3 weeks. Came back for half a game last game, exited the game as well as Lane Johnson. So I think our run game hasn't been efficient only because teams know we rely on our run game, but it's kind of like we don't have an offensive line. The one game we did have a fully healthy offensive line.
Right now, PFF has you guys ranked as the 8th best offensive line in football.
That's what I'm saying, right? That's when we're fully healthy. I'm saying if not, we could be number one. But I'm saying we're
12th.
Yeah, going into week 12. That's because we're not healthy. I'm saying if we're healthy, we clearly the league knows we have the best offensive line, if not a top 3 offensive line
What
in the
I'm
league.
trying to tell you is I think the offensive line excuse, granted, it's an excuse. Obviously, offensive line is huge. We see what it's doing to the Chargers. We see what it's doing to teams around the league. And offense is very important. But you guys still do have a top 10 offensive line.
Well, you guys are rating that based on just because of how good Mailata is and Lane Johnson are, right? Those 299 amazing tackles. No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But those two names, like Cam Jurgens is just a basic backup. Cam Jurgens isn't like an all-pro. He's not a, all-star.
Pretty much on the offensive line then?
Huh?
Are you pinning this clusterfuck pretty much on the offense?
No, I'm saying that's a big deal because us not being able to run the ball is, like you said, obviously what teams want is to force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball, right? And I think the media putting all this AJ Brown shit. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm saying all the media stuff that's happening isn't helping the condition. And the end of the day, if I want Philly to, and I see Philly doing better these last couple of weeks. I know it still looks ugly. It doesn't look pretty, but I'm saying as in you're seeing the small improvements, right? Like, okay, now AJ's somewhat getting the ball targeted. He was getting clamped, but at least you get that noise out the way, right? Devontae Smith, we all know he's an all-pro, could be a number one option on certain teams. He kind of took that little step up. Dallas Goedert has looked a lot better than he has in the previous couple of years that he's been on Philly, right? You see Jahan Dotson. You see these pieces getting involved. I think some things to say is just it's really. I put this all on Kevin Petula. I think Nick Sirianni needs to take some of that play calling back because Nick Sirianni was a great offensive play caller in Indianapolis. That's what gave him the starting job to get a head coaching job in Philly. I think Kevin Petula is just trying to do the basic Madden. Let's run the ball first and second down, and then 3rd and 7. We just gotta hope we, get a first down. That's not gonna work. I think Philly needs to let Jalen Hurts run a little more. I think that's also what makes their game dangerous and allows the running game to open up is Jalen Hurts' threat on the feet. So I just think it all comes down to play calling. And then you guys start questioning, well, AJ and Jalen go rogue on that last play against Green Bay, which is obviously a dumbass pass. But you got to raise the questions. Why did they do that? Well, maybe because they've been handcuffed the whole entire game to throwing 2-yard slants and bubble screens with -5 yards. Like at some point, you need to feel like you need to unleash that deep ball. Like last year, we were seeing Jalen Hurts throw 40, 50-yard deep balls, whether it was to Devontae, AJ. Like you saw him throwing those deep balls. This year, it's like we're getting one deep ball to Devontae Smith once every 3 games. Jahan Dotson had one last week, but you're not seeing that productiveness of that deep ball. You're not seeing like everything's just like 8th grader can read what we're playing. So I think this is mainly just play calling and just the health of our O-line. Like it's like if you want to run the ball, you need a healthy offensive line. You don't have a healthy offensive line, you gotta mix up the offense.
Naoki, please help this make sense.
Yeah,
what the fuck is going on?
I think the offense that we saw last year came as a big culture shock to the entire NFL. One, the Eagles getting Saquon Barkley was an unprecedented signing, right? You already have Jalen Hurts, you have AJ Brown, you have Devontae Smith, you have Dallas Goedert, and then you go ahead and add on a Saquon Barkley who you don't give up anything for, right? That in and of itself added a wrinkle to the offense that the Eagles hadn't had before, right? As since we won the Super Bowl, really, if we're really being, I know we look at that Super Bowl team in 2018 with Carson Wentz slash Nick Foles at the helm, with Alshon Jeffrey and Torrey Smith and Matt Collins, catching the ball with Zach Ertz, and then in the backfield having a Jay Ajayi, having a Corey Clement, and having a LeGarrette Blount, right? We hadn't seen a really fully balanced offensive arsenal from the Eagles since that time. And I think last year, a lot of teams were so concerned with stopping either or, right? The pass or the run, right? Do we contain Saquon Barkley as much as possible and just let Jalen Hurts try to air it out, which we did see last year, and we saw a lot of really good flashes of Jalen Hurts as a passer last year, both Devontae and AJ Brown taking some good steps as receivers alongside Jalen Hurts. But then I feel like this year, with kind of a full year for teams to figure them out, I think the Eagles have just been kind of figured out from an offensive standpoint with adding on to the fact that there has been a big lacking of creativity from the offensive play calling. I think having Kellen Moore last year, he was a ballsy OC, right? He was calling plays that like we were kind of looking at him like, what are you doing? And it would just work out. Now Kevin Patullo kind of just calls out plays, and we're like, what the heck was that? Like, why was that the play there in that situation? What was that read there? And I think teams have kind of been figuring out if we take away the run and we take away the first option on the pass, which is AJ Brown, then we basically have the Eagles basically on lock, right? We've seen a lot of games this year where Devontae Smith just kind of becomes the impromptu number one option because AJ
Let
Brown
me
gets completely shut out of games.
let me
Go
stop
ahead.
you right there because I want to touch on what you just said about how teams look at the Eagles now and say, all we got to do is take out the run. All we got to do is take out AJ Brown. But let me remind you, that's what teams were trying to do last year, and they couldn't.
Yeah,
They
and
couldn't
I think, and I think,
stop
and
saying
I think,
they couldn't stop AJ Brown.
yeah,
So
and
why can now?
I feel like not, and I think that you can kind of accredit that to then now, like Majid said, the offensive line hasn't been fully like they've played every snap of a game like once this season, through 12 weeks. And I think we saw that more consistent. We saw more consistency in the lineup on the offensive line last year than we did this year. Granted, like later in the postseason, right, we had Cam Dragons go out and Landon Dickerson like rotate snaps at center in the Super Bowl and in the conference title game and whatnot. But like Matt just said, like I think if we're looking at it in specific to if we're bottlenecking it to just this year, I think it is a combination of lacking of creativity on the offensive play call, like Matt just said. And I think a part of it is to the inconsistencies of the health of the offensive line and Jalen Hurts having to almost result back to what he was before last season, right? We saw him in the years prior having to be much more mobile, which he still can't make the decisions when he climbs out of the pocket to go run and pick up extra yards or go run and make a pass. He still hasn't fully figured out that aspect of the game where making those decisions when he climbs out of the pocket, either sideways or forwards, what he wants to do. He just kind of escapes the pocket and kind of just figures it out after, whereas opposed to, okay, I see a read, let me escape the pocket and then make that read, as opposed to I'm gonna escape the pocket and then I'll make a read. He's had to revert back to that, which is what we've all been harping him on the last few years, apart from last season, because I feel like last year he was just able to be much more composed because of the security of the line. While also when he was escaping the pocket, he was making the correct decisions, either checking it down to Saquon or throwing it to Devontae Smith on the middle or running it down himself, right? He was able to, those decisions last year were smarter and were made more often, whereas opposed to this year, he took one step up last year and then this year took two steps back in that department. I think a part of it is a lacking of the creativity from the play,
Yeah,
play
Yusuf,
calling. Yeah, go ahead,
are
Yusuf.
you?
I did my due diligence, but I brought this up um, in previous episodes, like early on, and
Mhm.
I think this is still a continuing problem from 2 years back. It's the formations the Eagles run. I'm going to read out some statistics for this season, and you guys just sit back, relax, and enjoy what I'm about to read. The Eagles' play action rate are 30th out of 32 teams in the NFL. Okay? There is a game this season where they ran 21 snaps from under center. Of those snaps, those 21 snaps, 2 of them were play action passes, 19 of them were running plays, and 5 of those running plays were tush pushes. All right? Jalen Hurts is statistically one of the worst quarterbacks from playing under center. So they're 30th in play action rate. They're 29th in motion rate. They're ranked 29th in motion rate. In pass rate, they are 29th in the NFL out of 32 teams. In their under center rate, they are 26th out of 32 teams. And middle of the field targets, they rank 31st out of 32 teams in the NFL. My point being, when they line up under center, teams know what the fuck is coming. It is so obvious that they're going to hand off the ball or they're going to tush push. There's nothing else they do. Jalen Hurts, since he's entered the NFL, has been the worst quarterback statistically in passer rating when it comes to play action passes.
Shocking.
There is one time in his career, and it was against the Minnesota Vikings, where he finished the game with a perfect passer rating from play action. He went 4 for 4 with 158 yards and a touchdown pass. That's the only game in his career that he has had a perfect rating for play action. Now, you don't expect quarterbacks to have perfect ratings for play action, but that is far and above the only time he has ever had a good game running play action. 4 play action plays in the entire game. Let me read out this shit one more time. I don't think you guys understood me. They rank 30th in play action rate, 29th in motion rate, 29th in pass rate. They are 29th in the amount of times they pass the fucking ball in a game. Okay? They 26th in under center and targeting players in the middle of the field. They rank 31st out of 32. They don't have.
You hear all this and you're thinking, oh, Saquon must be having another 2,000-yard season again, right?
No.
He has like
No wonder.
5 yards.
No wonder teams are thinking like, oh, all we got to do is shut down Saquon, because that's all they fucking do. They don't do shit else when they line up under center. And then also, you have 2 of the best receivers in the league, arguably the best 1-2 punch in receivers in the NFL. Have them run crossing routes across the middle.
Fight back, Majid.
Huh?
Fight back.
You can fight back as much as you want, brother, but the numbers do not lie.
He
Now,
hit the 2-punch combo on me, bro.
Bro,
there's nothing I can say back.
The
He's
numbers,
not wrong. What he's preaching is what I've been preaching to the TV when I'm yelling at it every Sunday.
bro. There's
run
no
some crosses,
creativity.
run some
There's
corner routes. Everything
zero.
It's literally AJ. It's either AJ cries, all right, we're gonna throw a double coverage comeback route to AJ. We're gonna throw a 2-yard slant. Like it's the same crap every week. Like it's like Jalen. It's like Naoki said. Jalen will skip the pocket, right? Once he finally skips the pocket, then he starts doing the, hey, you go here, you go. He's like drawing up a play mid play, with like 300 pounds guys running at him.
Dog,
like, you can't be doing that.
My concern is you're talking about the routes of the receivers. I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
Why is there no creativity? Routes? Why don't you have AJ Brown running a crossing route? Why don't you do that? He's more than capable. Devontae Smith, you have him running go routes and out routes the entire fucking game. And then where's Dallas Goedert, bro? He's a tight end. His career is made to be curl and middle across the middle routes. Yep. That's his entire career because his body as a tight end is able to take that punishment. Additionally, why are we not running cross screens with Saquon Barkley? Why is he not running short curl routes 2 yards in so that way he can pick up some yardage? There's no creativity or sense of anything in this offense.
And that's what I say. That's what I go back. I know there's a risk of picking up a flag with obviously pick plays and stuff, but go with some creativity. You see the Chiefs always doing it. It's that stupid 2-yard pass to Juju that goes for 19 yards because you have Kelsey set that little pick. He picks it up and he just goes down the middle. Linebackers only play so inside when it's clear. It's a clear run play. When you go spread 5. Do what the Chiefs do. Spread 5 out. They know they're not going to run the ball. 5 out, you're not going to run the ball. Do a little nice, like give it to Dotson, give it to Devontae Smith in the middle. Have Goddard, have someone sit a little pick play, hit that like 19 yards. You know, their main corner is distracted with AJ outside. It's clear you're not running the ball. Do something. That's where I blame the offense coordinator. And it's not that Kevin Patula can't be good at some point in his career. I think it's just like I go back to the beginning. It's Isaiah brought this up too. I just think Kellen Moore, obviously they won the Super Bowl. Kellen Moore is getting a head coaching job, and you don't have a better option. So you go like, okay, let's just promote. Or he did good with Jalen Hurts. Oh yeah, he could run the offense. No, you can't just give him 10% of the work to 100% of the work. It doesn't work like that. Or if he was promoted to offensive play calling or offensive coordinator, you can have an offensive coordinator who doesn't call plays. That's very doable. He can still be the one helping the offense, learning it. I know you said that. You brought that up. Well,
Wait, no, I'm saying the Niners do that.
that's what I'm saying. Like have an offensive play calling, learn the players because you have again, and that's where it goes. Like, oh shit, we don't want to trade AJ. You have Devontae, you have Saquon, you have AJ Everts that are on contract for the next 3 to 4 years. So you know at some point you can be playing like have Nick Sirianni that already understands these players, had experience with these players. Play call for now. It gives an extra year or two for Kevin Patula to learn behind, get to know their personnel, get to learn the players themselves, what they like, what they don't like. When the offense comes off the field and Nick Sirianni is focused on the defense now, you can kind of players can communicate with Kevin Patula. Okay, this is what we like from Nick. This is what we did. Do that. Don't just give the guy and the guy's just out there with his notebook learning. Oh, we should run this one. Yeah, let's try this one. Like it's like you said, no creativity, bro. It's just bullshit. Like I can be running the fucking offensive playbook. I can do it, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously this conversation has proved nothing but that this is probably one of the more frustrating stories in the NFL,
Yep.
probably in the last 5 years, I would say. Um, at least you guys aren't the Chiefs. Let's just put it like that.
Yep.
It could be a lot worse. You guys are still sitting at what, 8-2?
Yep. Number one in NFC, 8-2. And that's
Yeah.
that's what's scary, bro. Like we're playing at our worst, at our fucking worst, and we're eight. Like, when have you ever seen a team first place with two losses that argue like, okay, yeah, Giants we got belted, but we should have won that Broncos game. But
Literally the Chiefs
yeah, that's my point. But like, no, no. But my point is like,
last
when
year.
you're sitting on the top though, and it's like this is what's happening. So it's like imagine when you finally figure it out, and I know they will, just because that's how the Eagles are every year. They've always been a second half team. It looked ugly, but again, it's not like Green Bay and Lions are both bumps. Those two have arguably top defenses. They're tough teams in the NFC. Like those are the matchups people predict in playoffs. So it's like to win both games, one on the road in Lambeau, which isn't easy, and then winning that game against Detroit. It's still impressive though. You get what I'm saying? Like no matter the case, I think and Naoki can see this. I think at some point we're gonna click. We're gonna figure it out. Hopefully sooner than later, but come playoff time, I'm confident.
We're gonna have
That bye
to.
will help.
We're gonna have to at some point.
You have
Like, because
to.
you're saying like back to the question that we asked at the very beginning of this segment is that's why the Rams are the best team in the NFL right now. Because if it wasn't for if Kellen Moore had stayed or if we had actually hired from the outside an actual OC, we'd be sitting at the top of the NFL. But it's also the fact that we're not playing at our best on the offensive side of the ball, and we're still record-wise sitting at the top of the NFC. That is something that like to be somewhat proud of, right? The fact that we're all winning games in ugly fashion, but it's like we can only win these games in an ugly fashion to a certain point. We're like overworking our defense so much already through week 12 because that's when we're gonna need them the most is when they stepped up in the Super Bowl last year, right?
Yep.
When you could have argued that the entire defense could have won Super Bowl MVP, especially Josh Sweat, right? It was granted we scored a lot, whatever, but we don't get those opportunities if
Without
the
the picks by
defense
Zach Bond, without Cooper DeJean's pick six,
if
without
the defense does
the three
not
sacks.
dominate the way that they did. And
Yep.
granted, the defense so far this year has been dominant, but we don't want them to be through 17 weeks, 16 weeks of a regular season, and then a possible 3 weeks of a playoff run going into February. So eventually the Eagles are going to have to figure it out. And I know last week we talked about we talked in specific to AJ Brown, the situation with AJ Brown. And Imagine said like he's alluded to it, like it's set up as of late, but it's like now you can just throw him the ball for the sake of just to appease AJ Brown now. Like Kevin Batul, like what Matt just said, like he needs to like take a year to learn the personnel, right? And especially because like last year, his whole job was learn Jalen Hurts, learn about Jalen, know what his strengths are, whatever. Kellen Moore's whole job last year was learn the entire offense, get to know the whole offense, and he did great at it. So with Patullo now having to kind of be pigeonholed as a QB coach to then having a much more like spread out personnel with everyone on the offense, like he has to kind of take that step. And I do think that like what Matt just said, like if the plan all along was eventually to like hire Kevin Patullo as the OC, or they just kind of had to do it because there was no one else available, which I find it extremely hard to believe that like it's on the front office. If we're being honest, like you should have hired someone when as soon as Kellen Moore got the job, right? Ben Johnson was available. Why don't you like you just came up with winning the Super Bowl? Why don't you go after him? He's an
Yeah.
OC.
I will get Mike McDaniels, baby, after the Dolphins fire him.
All right, and
I,
that's where this conversation
Yeah,
ends.
move on, bro. I'm done with that shit.
Yeah. Well, it's time to have a convo. That was a long convo. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. We're gonna close it out really quickly with our Street Logic game of the week. We'll run through these really quickly. Naoki, kick me off, please.
Yeah, so this week I have the game. My game of the week is the Indianapolis Colts, who have been on fire this year, who have been phenomenal. Going up against the Chiefs, who as of late have been on a heater, who have been going back to their normal ways of winning. I have the score being the Chiefs winning 28-24. I do think that like this is the Colts sort of real test of this season, in terms of comp, and I do think that with the savviness that the Chiefs hold, and Andy Reid being an experienced coach with Mahomes and all of them finding ways to win games, I think this will be the Colts' first real test of this season. I think that
Fuck
they
no,
kind of get
boy.
humbled. I'm sorry.
Fuck
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro.
ass fuck the Chiefs, bro. And it ain't even gonna be close. Bet that.
All right, if you say
Anyway,
so.
don't
Magic,
look, boy.
Magic Zoo, bro. What's your team game of the week?
my fault, my fault. I thought we were still talking about the disgusting.
On your waves.
Yeah, I'm getting my waves on my beard, just because I was just hearing some nonsense in my ear about the Chiefs winning this week or something. But back to the important thing. This week, obviously, I don't want to go biased. Yusuf, I think you should go with Eagles Cowboys since he didn't put a game there. That's the best next available game.
You're gonna
Uh,
love the game I choose.
okay, I'm gonna go Vikings Packers divisional matchup. Must win game for the Packers. If the Vikings want some glimpse of a wild card spot or hope, I don't even know what, they're gonna have to pick it up. But I got the Packers winning this game at home. It's gonna be low scoring, like we talked about earlier, 24-13. Talked about, I think Aaron Jones hits the end zone. That's the touchdown they get. Maybe a late one by Jordan Addison, but that's
A
the
game
last.
of toilet bowl.
Hey, you guys took the good games, bro. The Rams Bucks game was taken, and then the Chiefs Colts. I didn't want to keep going Eagles every week. Uh,
Shocking, they
I,
considering you
I
have almost their entire offense not doing well in terms of fantasy. They hasn't scored 13 points.
that's nothing though. That's two field goals and a touchdown. That's gonna be a Jordan Love pick. That's gonna put them in field goal range. Uh, speak up, Yusuf. I know you want to say something.
It's just my team of the week. I mean, game of the
Okay,
week.
yeah, I'm done. But pretty much, yeah, I got Packers winning. It's gonna be a low scoring game.
Go ahead, Yusuf.
Browns Raiders. It's a
Busted
bold
my
one.
IP. Perfect time. Hey. Gino Shador. Who would have thought? Gino Shador.
For Gino Shador in the big
Can we get
2025 is insanity.
can we get Tony Romo? Can we get Tony Romo on the broadcast for that game?
I don't know, Jeff. It's too
I don't
close.
know. Shador. I don't know. It seems like Gino's gonna throw his 11th pick of the game.
Honestly, I don't know what the thought process was here, Jim.
All right.
Ah,
I got,
Oh,
huh?
are you guys on Instagram Reels at all?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Meme Wave is insane right now.
yeah.
So
We're gonna
bad.
refer to him from here on out on the Pick Six podcast as the genocide. Okay.
Oh, I get it. Genocide. That's hard. That's
All right,
funny.
Yusuf, what's your actual game of the week for real?
Browns Raiders. I got Browns winning 20-17.
God
Right.
damn, the high score.
I think Shador has 2 touchdowns, 250 yards
and a
passing.
pick.
No picks.
Yeah, I have Los Angeles Rams versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as my game of the week. I'm actually switching up. I have Tampa Bay winning this game. I think the Rams have a lackadaisical performance, kind of out there on their high horse. And I think Tampa and Baker kind of shut them up a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to change my score around. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning 30-24.
I'm not mad
Mm.
at that. I can see this as I don't want to say trap game in a sense, use that terminology, but like you said, the Rams are holding a high ceiling. Rams dealing with some injuries now after the last game. Devontae Adams played injured. But I have a question for you: is Bucky Irving back this week?
That's a good question. I don't know. He is practicing.
That's what I'm saying. I did see him practice, but
So, but
hopefully,
even this game for me is not dictated on whether Bucky Irving or not plays. The Bucks have been doing it all year with whoever the fuck wants to step up, and I think that's the case this week.
and the Bucks. I think the Bucks lost 2 out of the last 3, or they're back-to-back losses or something. So,
They gave the
so the
Bills a run
Bucks,
for money, even with Josh Allen having the
yeah.
general.
So the Bucks are in kind of like a. Luckily, their division's ass cheeks, but they're in somewhat of a must win just to get off that hump, over that
Yeah,
hump.
pretty
I mean,
much.
The Texans are starting to. Wait, that's a different division. Sorry,
Yeah, but
continue.
they're the same division. That's why you thought of that.
The Panthers are starting to heat up a little
Eh,
bit. So they're gonna have to.
Well,
They're gonna have to heat
Bryce
up.
Young got injured, so we'll see now if how Andy Dalton's going to do on that team. Andy Dalton looked like
Nah.
garbage.
Yeah, Bryce Young threw 450 passing yards against the Falcons, by the way.
He
Yep.
hates the Falcons, bro. I don't know
Hates-
what they did
They,
to
they,
him,
they
but
probably
bro,
passed up on him. Oh, well, I'm retarded. He went number 1 in the draft. Let's say they passed up on him.
dog.
The Falcons passed on him.
The hatred that this man has for Atlanta is otherworldly. I don't know what happened. You know what it is, bro?
Rod Wave
He
probably
went
says it.
he went to Bama, and they obviously hate Georgia with a passion. That could be
So
it,
that's
low
probably
key.
what it is.
That could be it. I'm not gonna lie to
Yeah.
you. But yeah, that's gonna do it, y'all. This was a very long and informational video from yours truly here at Street Logic Sports. The Pick Six podcast is back. I know we had a little bit of a hiatus. I know that we haven't been there for you on social media. We're hoping we can make a return very soon, starting with
Government shutdown's over, so we'll be
yeah,
back.
down's over, so Pick Six can proceed. But yeah, all jokes aside, love you guys. Thank you for the support as always. Please, please like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. You know where to find us. We have the link tree down below in the description. Please hit that. I've been Isaiah. Please, you guys.
I've been Yusuf.
Magic, just see.
Now Gigima.
Hey, we got a last name to close out to close out the show. Let's go. All right. Peace out, guys. Thank
See
you.
you guys
Later, y'all.
next week.